Don't get mad because you're not selling albums anymore. Your time is fucking up, and that's okay, man. Yo, what's up, everybody? We're here with another topic for this week. Thank you guys for joining us, by the way. And we have another topic, and it is what happened to hip hop? What happened to hip hop? You know, when we used to grow up, whether you were listening to hip hop back in the 80s, you know, the 90s, the 2000s, and the 2010s, you know, things have changed drastically. The looks have changed. The sounds have changed. Everything is just so different. It's not like the way it was, you know, back when we first started listening to it, you know? So, you know, me and Phyllis, we were talking and we were trying to decide, where this disconnect, where this, divide happened between, you know, these generations and shifts and cultures in hip hop. And we're trying to figure that out. So that's what we're talking about. You guys, please leave comments and let us know what you feel as well. I'm gonna lead it over to you, Fearless. Let me know, man. Where's this change and disconnect happening in hip hop, man? What has happened to hip hop?
So, a couple things in my opinion. For one, there's no need to ever have to be a drug dealer or a gangster anymore in hip hop. You know what I mean? That shit, that masculine energy has kind of been removed from hip hop. And that could be due to media, social factors, the world changing. But basically, you don't gotta be no tough motherfucker. It used to be back in the day, you had to be the toughest or the best motherfucker on your corner to make it in your city. And then once you were the toughest and the dopest MC in your city, you had to be the nicest in your state. And then from there, then you was able to progress forward. But you don't got to do none of that shit. If you got a banger, you can put it on the internet. If you're a nigga that know how to use social media, you can market that shit. That's number one. Number two, R&B fused with hip hop. So now every song basically has some element of melody. You know what I mean? And back in the day, you could just go off on the beat. You can make a catchy hook. You got one. It ain't like that no more. Like, motherfuckers are all about melodies. Motherfuckers love that shit. So, and that shit has been pushed to us since, Ja Rule and motherfuckers like that. Motherfuckers that understood that making a catchy song with the whole song being catchy and having a nice melodic hook can actually lead to being able to get played on the radio and being able to have some more easily listen to hip hop instead of being all fucking crazy aggressive. And lastly, this new generation is kind of different. It's not for on some negative shit. I'm not trying to bash the new generation at all. But their values and their morals and the way they grew up is different. Like, a lot of these motherfuckers grew up just without the being around a lot of gangster ass shit. And that's they had different parents, you know what I'm saying? Like, their parents wasn't force feeding that shit to them. And there isn't a lot of accountability kind of, and motherfuckers are real sensitive, which is fine because people are attached to their emotions, which is good, you know what I'm saying, in terms of your mental health. But motherfuckers wasn't like that back in the day. Like, niggas that was, when we was young, the motherfuckers that was out making music, they was all the most mentally tough niggas per their facade. So music in general changed. So you can be a homosexual, you can be a nigga that just to sing rap, you could be a motherfucker that's on drugs, you can be a drug addict. It used to be rules to this shit. It used to be rules to the streets. There ain't no more fucking rules. You know what I mean? Everything is more like free for all. So you can do what the fuck you want because people are connected. And that's my main point. The internet changed hip hop. The more people are connected, the more people that like music confused with genres. That's what I think changed hip hop, as well as the other things that I mentioned as well. You know what I mean? R&B getting fused with hip hop. You got less masculine motherfuckers out there. You don't have to be the most gangsters nigga. And the internet, since everybody got groups and cliques that you can kind of cipher into, that shit changed hip hop. What's your thoughts, bro?
I don't think hip hop has changed. I think hip hop has progressed just like everything else. To say that something has changed means you've changed everything that you are from the top up. And that's not the case with hip hop. I think that there hasn't been a huge divide between, the way we were raised and what we show or what we speak about on hip hop. It's always been that way. It's always been the struggle, the streets, or it's maybe some positivity. Look at the message. You know, don't push me because I'm too close to the edge. You know, I'm trying not to lose my head. You know, it's everybody. Everybody can understand that, and that's what hip hop was always about. You know, it was our look into okay, well, it was our stories that other people can look out outside from the outside looking in. You see what I mean? So, and I think that's what hip hop is and always has been. I don't believe that. I think when people see the change, say that there's change in hip hop, the only thing that they're talking about is like the Takashi 6 9s and the dudes with the rainbow color hair and the different, um, the different style, the different dress, different way of clothes, the young thugs, and just the different way of thinking people that we've accepted to be in these hip hop community circles. So I piggyback on what you're saying about you don't have to be the most gangsterous person. You don't have to look a certain way. But when people say that hip hop has changed, that's what they're talking about. People want people to have been in the streets. They want people to have been in the hood. They want people to have been have robbed or killed somebody or done some jail time. And quite frankly, the older I get, the more I'm against that. Excuse me, I'm against that. Hip hop has always been about telling your story, speaking your truth, allowing other people to see a different side that they've never been accustomed to. I don't think that has anything to do with wild and crazy hair. I think like that wild and crazy hair is nothing more than to get attention because you need that differential between you and whoever else is rapping or singing or doing something. It's not like back in the 90s where everybody sounded different. It's more like we found this new wave, we found this new sound, and everybody's jumping on it. And it's the way it's always been. Everybody's jumping on this brand new sound. It's just that it's starting to sound a little clicky, the same, and everybody is just kind of featuring and jumping on each other's songs. So you can't tell if it's Lil Joe Blow from down the street or a little Uzi Flirt down here. That's you can't tell the difference between the rappers. But as far as the sound, that's the sound of today. 90s had that sound. 2000 had like the pop sound. But it's just when people say change, it's strictly for the people with the different color hair and the people that come out as gay. And there's more and more women coming out and they're spitting like fire. There's more and more women coming out and men are getting up in their little weak ass feelings. And I think that's more part of the point too. You sent me a picture that started this whole debate between you and I.
Right.
And it was a picture with like Dr. Dre and Snoop and the rappers in the 90s. And at the bottom, it was, kind of play on a little joke of, these are rappers of today. And they were like the little rainbow,
the Care Bears,
Cabbage Patch Kids or whoever they were, right? And, right, the Care Bears. So, but to make fun of these kids nowadays, this the reason why they're speaking what they're speaking about. Because we're constantly telling these children, like, yo, this is the way how we used to be. This is how we used to act. Like hip hop, y'all know nothing about hip hop, and they're like, "Well, damn, man, I made it through. I made it through the way that I made it through, which is more than likely through SoundCloud or the internet or something like that. I became successful. I'm buying my mother a fucking house." And I have all these people behind me saying like, "Oh man, it ain't real hip hop. Look, this is what we did and you did." I'm like, "Yo, man, this shit changes, man. Leave these young kids alone and let them do their fucking thing." Don't talk down upon these kids, man. I go back to what Bun B said. I heard this Bun B on the radio a while ago, a few years ago. He said to all the trap rappers, he said, if anybody makes fun of you and the way that you rap and it makes fun of your trap music, you have the right to be pissed off. You can fight them if you want. You can argue them what you want. You can do whatever you want to do. Don't allow these people to talk shit about your art. Don't allow these people to talk shit about your craft because either they can't understand you or they don't like you. Because at the end of the day, it's simply because if it ain't about my childhood, then it's because they're black. That's really what it is. Black people hate trap music because it's my childhood, and white people hate it because they're black and they can't understand what the fuck you're talking about. So you have every right to be as offended as you want to be. That is our language. Okay, nobody says nothing to these white people who really want to be cowboys out here, who thinks cowboys are fucking real. They're talking about some yee-haw and shit, got their cowboy hat on. But if we want to get on a song and talk that trap shit, and if you can't understand it, my nigga, it's not for you. It's not for me. I'm 36. I'm an old nigga. right? But I'm not gonna stop these dudes from getting their paper and creating. You know what I mean? Stop shitting on people. Stop, not you personally, of course, but get out of your old ass ways, man, and stop worrying about like this change in hip hop. Nigga, Jay-Z said it best. Niggas want my old shit, buy my old album. If you want that old hip hop back, my nigga, go listen to that old Mace Harlem World shit. I did because I love that shit. You know what I mean? Go back and listen to it. But this new shit, if you can't get down with this new shit, don't talk about it because you don't like it, man. Just embrace it and be happy that these niggas out here are not in the streets anymore, hopefully, and they're getting their paper and buying people and buying their mother houses and getting these people out the hood and shit, man. Like, we need to fuck your childhood, bro. That's the only reason we're talking about this shit, because your little weak ass childhood and you haven't grown up yet. So everybody out here that's listening to this, fuck your childhood, okay? Get over that shit. It's time to move on. Let these kids do what they do in hip hop and any other genre of music. If you want to listen to some old Justin Timberlake, some old Nelly, go do that. All right? Don't talk about the Tekashis and whoever the hell else is out here. Excuse me, doing their thing. They the new up and comers, man. Sorry you didn't make it, my nigga. That's how I feel about it, man.
So, yeah, I can understand where you're coming from in terms of letting the young niggas have their way. And, you know, that's what hip hop kind of is. It's like that for all genre musics. But I would just implore everybody to understand that the old shit that you used to like is still actually out there. You just gotta go fucking find it. And the best part is, it's actually easier than the fuck you think. Like, not that hard. A few searches, and
you can get that shit on YouTube.
Yeah, you
now.
can find all like the different styles of hip hop. So like, if you looking for like boom bap, or you like gangster rap, or you like West Coast gangster rap, or you like lo-fi, or you like lo-fi emotional rap, all of that shit can be found on the internet by artists that sell just as many records as Tekashi and Drake and all them niggas, really. Like, if you really love Lupe Fiasco, nigga, he makes songs. Like, if you like
nothing will stop you from listening to him.
No, like J. Cole is probably one of the top 5 concept artists of all time. And he's here today. Kendrick coming out soon. Probably by the time we drop this, he might already fucking been out. So like, if you like conscious rap, you got it. If you like boom bap, nigga, if you don't fucking listen to Griselda, you're stupid. Like, you got Benny the Butcher, West Side Gunner, you know what I'm saying? Like Conway the Machine. Like, you got real, and these are.
I was late to that party too, by the way.
But those are like major artists. Like, this ain't no fucking game. Like, so that's what I'm saying. It's just like, bro, like, y'all have to understand, man. There's shit out here for every motherfucker in the world. Stop acting like just because the shit that you might see your kids watching is different than what you grew up on. But when it came to like your mom and dad, like my mom and dad, man, them niggas was listening. They was watching niggas that was wearing suits and spinning in circles and shit. They was dancing in a line. You know what I mean? Like, these, or they, like, a little later, these niggas was wearing dashikis. Right, like, nigga, like, my mom listened to Machata and all these motherfuckers where they had the fucking shirts out with the fucking, you know what I'm saying, they chest all fucking exposed to hair and shit, you know what I'm saying? So she looking at Tekashi 6ix9ine and that shit, or like So Fuego and all of these motherfuckers, you know what I mean, Pop Smoke, all them niggas, you know what I mean? She gonna be like, what the fuck is this? That's just how it is, man. Every 20, 30 years, shit's gonna change totally. And you need to be able to accept it. And the dopest part is that I agree with you, Wayne. Music has changed, in my opinion, but it hasn't changed for like the better or the worse or anything. It's like you said, progressing. It's progressively changing into something different. And if you are not ready for the next phase that's about to come, you really gonna hate how it is now. Because it's a whole new experimental version of hip hop that's about to jump off. And it's gonna be really, really big. And it's going to sound really weird at first. It's like 808s and Heartbreak, but way more R&B-ish. It's going to be crazy. So like,
it's going to sound like if Kid Cudi became president of the United States.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to sound.
Yep.
Just sad as hell.
But trap based, which is crazy. So it's gonna be like niggas gonna be like, you know what I'm saying, singing, rapping, singing on a R&B type beat, but spitting bars, gangster rap, but like trap bass. Like that's the new thing that's about to hit. Like so, hey, and when it comes to trap music, let me just say this.
Well, they've been doing that in pop music. They've been doing that in pop music for a little bit,
Right?
already.
Exactly. Right. Boom. You know what I'm saying? And in R&B, you know, R&B is kind of like that now. So let me just say this one more quick thing.
Yeah, R&B ain't R&B anymore, man.
No, and it's going to revert back. That's the one thing I wanted to say. Like everything is going to go back to where it was, and it's going to morph and modify again. Like I hate the fact that motherfuckers be like, yeah, I don't like the Dracula that came out like 1991. I like the one that came out 1934. Word. I respect the one that came out in 1934. It's dope. It's beautiful, actually. It's fucking tight. But nigga, like that's just barely watchable. What the fuck you talk? Exactly.
Word.
Come on, man. Like
I would watch, bro. I would rather watch that Dracula 2000 before I watch that 1934 one.
I don't agree with you, but I feel where you're coming from. Yeah. But I'm a movie nigga, you know what I mean? So that's because I like movies and shit.
Word up.
But I feel where you're coming from. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I just don't get that shit. Like, music's going to change. But all the music that you was like, oh, man, I remember when music used to be like, they used to be boom, 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 and it was bars. Nigga, there's a million niggas out here with bars. Like, if you want bars, listen to fucking Homage. Like, if you want some fucking bars, listen to Jadakiss. He still dropped music. The locks ain't gone, nigga. It was like, stop.
My nigga, stop. If you like bars, listen to Jimmy B. Fearless.
Right. Listen to my black ass.
Now,
Bomb.
nigga.
Like, listen to me. Like, listen. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, it's a million. Like, or listen to the nigga around the corner. You know that raps. Some of them are horrible, right? But that's how everybody.
You know that nigga need a play. He need a spin. He needs some money.
Like, come on, man. That's what I'm saying. It's just like we don't do nothing but be bitching and moaning about. Oh man, and like I agree with you, man. The one thing I will say is this: there is some weird attack on masculinity in this world. I don't know if it's good or bad. I haven't made my decision yet. But I feel like you ostracize a certain sect of people.
Attack on masculinity, as in,
you know, the more masculine.
Go ahead, explain. I'm sorry.
No, you good. The more masculine you are, the more that you're seen as a threat to society, and I think that's crazy. But I haven't made my decision off of it yet because you know what I'm saying. I'm married to a woman that, I'm married to, you know, a strong woman. She doesn't classify as a feminist, right? But she also classifies a woman that's independent, very strong, you know, very guided with her moves, like don't need me for shit, you know what I mean? But we are together with that unity, right? But she don't take my masculinity away.
Right.
I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know. I haven't made my point. But I can understand being the devil's advocate when a lot of niggas listen to like some music, they be like, damn, I remember when my masculinity was represented. That could be a whole bunch of bullshit and you have some other issues, but I'm just pointing out that shit.
It is.
Like I'm pointing out like the niggas that used to be on the corner, not even on the corner, but just like niggas that used to like walk a certain type of way, used to hold yourself a certain type of way, used to do certain type of things, have a certain level of respect. Niggas like feared you. You know what I mean? Your name was your name where you from. You were respected, feared, loved, hated, whatever which one it is. Ain't really like that no more. Not in society. Society's different now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I mean by like playing the devil's advocate. I can understand why some niggas will feel like their points aren't represented. And that's some bullshit.
I kind of disagree.
That's fine. I understand that.
Masculinity is some bullshit. I think masculinity was some shit that was created ages and centuries and dynasties ago. But this shit is weird to me. Mm-hmm. It's always men who focus on other men and their masculinity.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's never the women that looks at a man and be like, he does not look masculine. It's always another man that be like, is this nigga manly enough for me?
I don't know about
if not, then I'm gonna call him out of his name. I'm gonna call him gay, or I'm gonna call him this, that, and the other.
A pussy ass nigga.
It's damaging Right. Insert insult here.
Right.
So I don't necessarily agree with that. I think masculinity is some shit that we've been taught to do by our dads and uncles and grandfathers and shit like
Right.
that to please them. And what I really think is masculinity is just a facade that we put on to try to look tough in front of the other guy. Men, we will try our hardest to look tough in front of other men. And we always think like it's all man, we doing this to impress the ladies or something. Man, women don't care about that shit, bro. Women will look out like it. Look at these goofy niggas fighting. All this ass and breast in this room, and these niggas over here competing like a bunch of fucking rams. Are you serious? Masculinity is not no real shit to me. Is this some shit that you like I said, you kind of put on to kind of push away the other person to kind of let them know like I'm a tough nigga too. Yeah, nigga, I'm tough. All right, well let's fight then. We tough. I'm tough. You tough. Let's find out who the toughest. And that shit isn't necessary.
So
Music is, again, that I think that's why everybody kind of loved hip hop, because hip hop was that one genre of music where you could be as tough as you wanted to be. And nowadays, people are vulnerable. They're more open. They're telling you, I have these problems. I have these issues. My father died, or I'm addicted to this. And sometimes we still want to get up and jam and party and get crunk and do all this other shit. You know what I mean? But this masculinity, all this masculinity shit though is what's really killing us. It's not the entertainment. It's not hip hop. It's not. I know I'm going off. I know I'm veering off. I apologize.
No,
But
I
don't
brought
think
it up.
any of those things are a problem except for just straight masculinity. Masculinity is the issue that we have here, and I think that toxic masculinity in music is the bigger issue that we have going on in the world, I guess, so to speak.
I feel like that I'm just saying, like, playing the devil's advocate, I can understand and sympathize how motherfuckers will feel that way. Because you were told something for 30 years. And then you get into this new generation, you still existing in it. And now the way that you've acted or the way that you've carried yourself is wrong. So you gotta, switch to southpaw. That's some crazy shit for a person mentally to understand. And that's why a lot of niggas go crazy. Like that's why a lot of niggas be like, they just.
But here's the thing though, the way that you were acting before was so damaging to the community, not only the community, but to yourself. And you could only see, like so far out and ahead of you. You know what I mean? So it's almost just like pretty much just taking your that next step out, that step of faith, if you will.
You said
like maybe I could be a better person if I just put all this to the side and take this big leap of faith and just try. That's all it really is, man. Just all that shit that you were taught back in the day, like that shit is not super hard to get over. We're not talking about depression. We're talking about treating people like shit. You don't have to.
But just because you're masculine don't mean you treat people like shit. At all. Just because you hold it's not what it's about. Like just because I'm masculine don't mean I'm a bully.
No, masculine is what?
Being masculine.
No, masculine to me,
yeah, what's your definition?
I think there's difference between being masculine. Okay, so being masculine that's what I think is being a bully.
Oh,
It's
okay,
being
okay.
so strong.
Yeah, that's not what
so
I meant.
Tough and, I'm masculine. I'm this. I'm tough. Like you could be a good person. Like I'm not saying like every nigga with muscles go try to fuck you up.
No, we know a lot of passive niggas with muscles.
Masculine. Yeah, you know what I mean.
I know a lot of passive niggas with muscles.
I will throw a brick at you in a heartbeat.
I'll just throw a bullet at your ass.
I'll throw a brick at you before I throw a punch, my nigga.
Just throw a bullet at your ass. See what happens.
But yeah, that's what I think. When I think of masculinity, just off rip. When I think of masculinity, I automatically think of toxic masculinity. Because I feel like masculinity was some shit that was created to try to make us better than whatever. It's always a separation. There's always something that's created to separate this from this, black from white, men from women. It's always something. You know what I mean? So this masculinity is something to not only separate black from black, it separates man from man. It stops black man from black man. Of course, we're cool with each other. We love each other, but the love can be a lot stronger. It stops woman from man because we too busy trying to show off for these other men that we're neglecting our black women over here or women in general, right? So I feel like Yeah, that toxic masculinity is the bigger problem, and to glorify it in hip hop again, I don't like for it to be said that hip hop is the problem. It's the toxic masculinity in hip hop that's the problem because not everybody raps about that.
I
Shit.
think there's
So I think that toxic masculinity. No, you go ahead.
I think
you go
there's
ahead.
I think there's a
I feel like I'm talking
huge,
too much.
no, you're not. There is a huge difference between toxic masculinity and masculinity. And I feel like your definition, I can understand why you would have that. I feel like that is something that's been, thrown on us for the past like 10 years, man. And I understand why, because, a lot of women have been hurt. There's a lot of crazy niggas out here. A lot of men been bullied by other men, all types of fucked up situations. When I think masculinity, I'm just literally thinking about it from like more like the testosterone level, right? And like actually being a man and like what that entails when you identify as a man. And it doesn't mean like just because you wasn't born one or none of that shit. I'm not getting into none of that shit. I'm just saying when you identify yourself as he, him, you know what I mean, and all that, that's what I'm talking about. Like that masculine aspect of it. And it doesn't matter if you're not masculine, because you could be a man and not be masculine. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the simple fact of what I was taught from a man, my father, of how to hold myself and conduct myself on the streets, in a relationship with my kids and with my family. Certain morals and structures. And it's something different that was taught to women. Obviously, because that's a totally different type of energy base. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. Just because you masculine don't mean you're a bully. You know what I mean? But you should hold your head high when you walk in the room. You should stand a certain type of way when you're in a fucking crowd. You should hold your fucking personal space and hold that shit as being private. That's what I'm saying.
So you would think that's more masculinity.
That's more.
You think that's more masculinity than personality? Personality.
No, I think
that kind of been taught or raised.
No, I think that's just how you raised, your own moral compass, and that's masculinity to me. You know what I mean? Like, for example, my brother Jim Grimes. If Jim Grimes saw me, somebody was saying something to me, and I just brushed it off, he'll walk up to me and be like, "Yo, everything good? Like, you want to check that nigga? What's up?" I'd be like, "Nah, I just brushed it off. Ain't no biggie. All right." You know what I mean? But next time, if he say that shit to you, look that nigga dead in his eyes and say, "Hey, man, don't talk to me like that. You don't got to be disrespectful." You know what I mean? But be a man. Show this motherfucker that you ain't weak. Because guess what? You keep being weak, these motherfuckers out here going to eat your ass alive. And it has nothing to do about masculinity. It has something to do with the code of how the streets are ran. The streets are the streets. The house is the house. The family's the family. Everything has its own alignment. You know what I mean? So it really just depends. And I honestly can't.
This is personal pride.
Right. And that's the masculinity, because it's different for women. Like, women don't take no shit. I know women out here, like, for example, I'm not going to name no names, but I know women out here that will fuck you up for checking them. They're more masculine than most people. Like, they're most masculine than most men. So it doesn't matter about gender. It depends on your energy and how you like to carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's all masculinity is. It becomes toxic when you start using that shit like rape women, when you become an incel and shit like that. That's toxic masculinity. When you start using your masculinity to dominate other people. And that's why I say, like, most of my niggas are like 40, 45-year-old men. They grew up in the 90s. They was in their teens in the 90s. They was in high school. That's all they know is that shit. They grew up in the streets. That's all they know is that shit. So I'm sitting here like, yo, I'm listening to this new little Uzi Vert. They don't know what the fuck this is. They can't relate. And that's why they think music changed. And I have sympathy for them, and I understand. Like, my nigga, I see why you listen to Dave East and you don't listen to nothing else. I feel you. I see why you hate Drake. I ain't mad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just don't be a hater. Just don't be a hater. That's all it is. Show love, because there's something for everybody.
Give it a try. If you don't like it, exactly. And that's coming from me though. Like give it a try too, because a lot of things is another thing is like with the kids. A lot of adults don't want to do anything that the kids do because I guess they're kids and I can't do that kiddie shit. I can't be looked at like that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Honestly, y'all, just have fun sometimes.
Right, because life is short. Yeah.
I remember when the Soulja Boy shit came out, the Superman, I remember when that came out, I was just all up in my shit, all up in my elitist phase. Like, exactly, bro. Nigga. And I missed out on all the fun, bro.
Oh, man, that shit was fun,
I missed out on all the fun because I'm like, y'all really doing that shit?
I mean,
the fuck out
it's just a dance. It's a good dance club. Man. Like, it's good dance for the club. What's my favorite a dance club song. Well, of course, it's damn, what is that shit? Swag. I surf. I swag. I surf. That's my favorite club.
Swag surf. Yeah.
That shit, the whole club. You don't know these niggas from nowhere, nigga. The whole club holding hands. Everybody got their hands on their shoulder and they all swagging and surfing. That's the best, like, club song. Like, that shit's fun. And you right, bro. Like, a lot of this shit ain't too serious, man. Like, this shit gonna phase. It'll be over before you even realize it. Shit gonna be gone. So, enjoy the music. Right. Enjoy the fashion. Niggas be like, oh, you dressing like a young boy. Fuck too. Y'all. Go ahead, bro.
I'm just saying, most importantly, it's not for y'all. It's not for us. You know what I mean? It's for the kids, man. You just try to enjoy it a little bit. As long as you put that in your head, it's not for you. I guarantee you, either you'll listen to it and it won't bother you, or you'll at least try to enjoy it somewhat. Maybe with your kids, or maybe if somebody brings it up, you'll be like, oh, yeah, I heard of that before. I know what you're talking about. But yeah, man, just stop being so damn judgmental, old people, because that's when you start to get old and feel old. And after that, you die.
Yeah, man.
So
yeah, man.
You don't want that shit, man.
You really don't.
You don't want that shit. That's coming from me, man. Like, I had to change my shit up a lot too, because I'm a young old nigga, man, or old young nigga, however you want to call it. You know,
I used to. So yeah, I used to always
loosen up, man. Loosen the fuck up.
I used to always say that shit like, yo, I'm old. I don't really think that shit no more, B. I know some real old niggas, like for real, like some real grown men. You know what I mean? And I don't really believe that no more. I just feel like we just more mature because of our age, and we've had probably a little bit more life experience. But I know 20-year-olds right now that's doing life. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, what can I tell that nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you do what you want, you know what I mean? But it's all good, man. Music is always going to revert back. And like I said, if you like that boom bap, you like that gangster rap, you can find that shit. And it's better than you ever heard it before. I guarantee fucking it. You know what I mean? And if you like that old, you like,
and it's never gone away.
No, it's been here. It's just not on the radio like that no more. Fuck the radio. Who listens to the radio anyway? Nigga, nah.
Fuck the radio. Fuck the radio.
Listen to shit. Like, if you, I remember, nigga, I know.
Sirius XM, man.
I know 65-year-old men that motherfucking listen to Apple Music more than me. You know what I mean? They got their oldie but goldies. You know what I'm saying? Connected to their little Cadillac and everything. Like, goddamn, like, what's up? What's going on, pa? Like, yeah, nigga, I got my shit hooked up. I ain't playing. Like, damn, this nigga bugging. You know what I mean? So, wait, man. You mind if I send this out, bro?
Yeah. Not at all, brother. I think that's it. Let's do it.
All right, man. So, thank y'all for listening to the You Feel Me podcast. Thank you for listening to these two old niggas. Go ahead and debate about this shit. Let us know what you think in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe. Also, like and subscribe our YouTube clips. Also, if you listen on the audio version, go listen to us on YouTube. Fuck you doing? You know what I mean? We all over the place. So go ahead and look us up. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Or you might get robbed. All right, peace. Wayne, say peace to the people, my G.
Peace. We love y'all, man. Anywhere your free podcast is over, where you can find us.